Happy Thursday! Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So we are working on the fox embroidery. We are doing a whole pile of French knots for the letters, the two little F's down here. And I think we will finish this up tonight. So that is the plan. All right, let's go. Okay, so let's zoom on down here. Oh yeah, so this weekend, I just wanted to share this weekend. On Saturday, I will be doing more punch needle. So I have my little punch needle tray. I wanted to show you guys these new trays. We got a couple new strawberry trays in. So now we have the pink, kind of the darkish pink, red, I'm calling it red, and the white. But I just freaking love these things. Here's the other trays. But yeah, so I have my just my supplies for the punch needle ready to go in that one. So I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm just loving those little trays to just wander around the house wherever I want to craft. Then I can have them ready to go. All right, I'm going to start off. We already have a piece of blue ready. I think I'm going to zoom you guys on in again here. So stay with me. Scooch you guys in. Okay, let's see how that goes tonight. So, all right, I have my 3 strands all ready to go. It looks like we left off, we did almost all the way around this F. We're going around the outline first. And then there was the idea to kind of like scatter dots through it. So like just French knots just kind of scatter throughout like a little bit more sparsely versus filling it all in. So I thought I'd try that first and then do the outline for this guy and do the little dots. And then we can see if we like that. Because I can always fill in the entire shape. Oh, shoot. Almost lost my thread there. I can always fill in the entire shape later, if that works. All right. Oh, Christine. Christine says, I recently did my very first embroidery and want to post a picture to the group, but I'm a bit nervous to do so. Oh, please do. We have the friendliest Facebook group for sure. I'm sure everyone there will just love it and give you some encouraging words, and I would love to see, so I'm excited for you to post. Alinda says those trays are sweet. They are. They're sweet. I do just really like them a lot. I use them all the time. The idea came, my mom had, my dad was a dentist, so he had these like little tiny trays that their tools were on. And they're almost like cafeteria trays, but smaller, like itty bitty, actually, like kind of this size. So like this, but like a rectangle with a little lip, kind of like how this has a little lip. And she uses them all the time. She has her tatting stuff all on it, and then she can just carry it wherever she wants. And I'm like, that is a great idea. And then I found these little strawberry ones, which are basically the same thing. The nice thing about the strawberries is that they have this little container. So sometimes I'll just throw my like trash in there, like my little spare bits of floss, so they're not floating around everywhere. Or sometimes I'll put like my needle minder or like my needles when I'm not working on them. I'll just throw that in there. But I do like that little kind of little case, little topper on him. But yeah, so I just got the pink ones, and then I found that dark pink, I'm calling it red, and white ones. I'm like, oh my god, these are so cute. So I got some of each of those as well. All right, I'm gonna just go down the line here again. So I'm doing, I'm kind of keeping it, so I'm always kind of going downward. I've found that that was a little bit easier for me to do these French knots yesterday. So I'm gonna continue, move these fellers out of the way. I'm gonna continue going from up to down. So I'm rotating the piece as I go here. And I'm not going in the same hole, like I'm coming up on one side of the line and then going back down on the opposite side of the line. So I do have a little bit, like a couple threads of fabric in between, so I won't accidentally pull a knot through. Oh, Abby Cat, yes, Abby Cat saying, hi, are the strawberry trays in the shop? They are. They are. So I have these 3 available still. I think I just have like maybe 3 of the white ones left. But yes, I do have them up in the shop right now. We just got more in, so we just put them up like I think 2 days ago or something. Oh, Linda's asking, where did we get the strawberry trays? They are up on the website, up on penguinandfish.com. So I didn't link anywhere directly to them, but if you just go to the main page, Penguin and Fish, there'll be a little search bar on top. Just type in strawberry. I'm sure it'll pop up. Our search is really nice for finding like blog posts and products and stuff. So start typing strawberries, and probably after a couple letters it'll pop up, which makes me think I don't have like any strawberry embroidery patterns, and like what the heck, strawberries are so adorable. I should have some strawberry embroidery patterns. We might have to do like a summer fruit or something to go with, or that's like a early summer fruit, but like little fruit patterns to go with our flower patterns, like the summer flowers. We should do like some summer fruit. That'd be cute. All right, we got that little row in. This is looking so adorable. Ugh! All right, let's do this teeny bit here. Zoop. French knots need a sound effect today, apparently. Oh, goodness. Oh, jeez. Got a little knot in there. Oh my gosh, you guys. I did the cook prep today. Because, you know, I'm going to come on, I'm going to go live for a good portion of the day, theoretically. I don't know how long it'll take, but for a while on Saturday. So Saturday, I don't quite know when I'm going to begin, but I'm going to be thinking about shooting for 11 Central Time. So theoretically, potentially around 11-ish Central Time, between 11 and 1. I don't think I'll be on later than 1, but I'm shooting for 11, but I'm going to come on live, and we're going to do one of our little marathon stitch-alongs. I am going to work on the punch needle. I would like to get the punch needle done, honestly. It won't be done, but I'd love to get the punch needle, the yarn part done, and actually I'd love to glue the back of it right away. I have to find the glue yet. I know I have some somewhere. But I would love to finish that. Ooh, I thought I got a little knot. Finish that on Saturday. I don't remember where I was going with that. But anyway, I'm going to do that on Saturday. I did have a point to that, but now I don't remember. Oh, I remember. Since I'm coming on Saturday for a good part of the day, I got our food prep for the week done a bit early. I'm like, I'm just gonna maybe do that today instead. So, man, I went to the grocery store, and all afternoon I've been making stuff and chopping vegetables. So we have a huge fridge full of stuff again. Catherine's asking, will the live be on Facebook too? Yes, I think I'm going to do it kind of exactly how we're doing it now. So I'll be on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So TikTok will have a little different view, though. So TikTok, you might want to toggle in between, or like check out, like if you're going to watch on Facebook every once in a while, it'd be kind of fun to see a different view on TikTok as well. Oh, Southpaw Studio says, "Wow, the nails are still looking great." I know. I think it's time though. They are starting to chip, and I think I might take them off tomorrow. How long, Sunflower Gal? Oops, it went away quick. How long did it take to learn how to make one of these beautiful things? Oh, I'm glad you like them. I think embroidery is one of the best beginner crafts out there. I mean, we're kind of doing maybe a little bit more difficult thing, but still a beginner can still do it. But, by doing all these little French knots here. But all of my designs at Penguin and Fish are all really great for beginners. Our kits come with everything but the scissors. Like all the fabric, our newer kits, the fabric's pre-printed. These patterns here come with the iron-on pattern and a traceable pattern. It really is a lot like coloring, I feel like. You're just staying on the line with some stitches, basically. And really, if you just learn one stitch even, you're going to be good to go to make a lot of lovely, wonderful things. And I'm here every night, just about, if you ever need help. And we have like a great group of people in our Facebook group, Penguin and Fish Crafters on Facebook, and there'll always be someone to help you out if you have any questions. And you can just email me, and I'm here every night, so you can ask. So yeah, I think embroidery really is one of the easiest crafts to get going with, and inexpensive compared to a lot of crafts that are out there too. All right, this freaking F with the French knots is so cute. It's super 3D. It's just really, really sweet. Oh, real Amid. I know I'm not saying that right. Says, I've just taught myself to cross stitch. I would love to learn embroidery. Those are very close cousins. Not even cousins. I would say they're immediate family. Let's try doing that all the little dots in the middle. Let's kind of draw them on. I'm going to do that. Let's get a little pen here. That's great. If you can do... Oh, Amy. Oh, duh. That makes so much sense now, Amy. Real Amy D. Yeah, okay. I'm the worst at, looking at people's usernames. I'm going to just draw some, scattered dots in here. And then I'll do French knots over. I just didn't trust myself to just... I can kind of draw randomly French, or, with... here, but I don't know if I would have done it well just stitching. But yeah, if you can cross stitch, then you'll 100% be able to do embroidery. It's just the teeniest bit different. With cross stitch, you're just doing a grid. You're counting a grid. With embroidery, you're following an outline. And a lot of the stitches that you can do with cross stitch, you can also do with embroidery. Did I end up? Oh yeah, I'm at the top. So I'm going to do, let's just go over here. I'm going to do these couple little French knots. I can tell by what it looks like with the dots that I think this is going to be cute. So we might just do the couple little dots versus filling in the whole thing. But if we decide later that we want to fill it all in, we can, because these will just be the starts of filling it in. But yeah, if you learn one or two stitches really with embroidery, then you'll be good to go. With cross stitch, there is oftentimes a back stitch, and that's when you have to add that one little extra bit to outline some shapes sometimes. So you've done all the X's, and now you gotta every once in a while there'll be a little line that a pattern will want you to do. That's typically a back stitch, and if you can do that in cross stitch, I mean that's what this entire fox outline is just a back stitch. But instead of going in each hole, you're just following a line and kind of deciding on your own length, and it doesn't have to be equal lengths or whatever. I do mine about like 1/8 of an inch, maybe a hair more, typically. So that's really it. But yeah, I highly trust that if you can do cross stitch, you'll be able to do embroidery. Mara Odette, again, I'm horrible with those names. What are the basic stitches? I actually have a free pattern with free videos on like 14 basic stitches. So if you check out, if you just go to like Penguin and Fish and go like free patterns, we have a free pattern section, but we have a stitch sampler. It's a cute little raccoon who is embroidering. And there are 14 different stitches, and it's free, and when you sign up for it, you'll get emails and videos on how to do those 14 stitches, like step by step. So I definitely recommend to do that. I think, and I use all basic stitches on these designs here. So my go-to for outlines is the back stitch. These little scattered fellers are a seed stitch. When you fill in a shape, like what we did for these feet with like just long stitches, that's a satin stitch. And we've done a chain stitch. It looks like a crocheted chain stitch, or any chain stitch in other crafts. That's what this is. And then we're doing little French knots down here. We're being a little extra with this particular pattern by doing these French knots, but I think they're looking pretty cute. And all of those are in that free sampler. So I definitely recommend doing that. We have a kit version of that as well. And you can find all those videos and stuff on the blog in our Stitch library. But yeah, so those are just a few stitches, and we have 14 included in that stitch sampler. And I mean, if you know 14 freaking stitches, you are well on your way to stitch whatever the heck you want. Oh, Real Amy says, I have a cross-stitch project that I need to finish, and then I'll teach myself a new hobby. So the other nice thing about embroidery, like this, something like this size, and just outlines and stuff like this, which is most of mine fit within an 8-inch square. Like this is the one we're going to stitch next week. It's a little bit more in depth, but not as far as skill, just more like there's more stitches, so it's just going to take longer. But even that big piece, it is going to go freaking 100 times faster than cross stitch. Cross stitch is always so deceptively long in my head. Like to finish a cross stitch, like I'm like, oh, that's just like 3 inches by 3 inches, and it takes hours and hours and hours. Whereas with embroidery, something that size would go a zillion times faster. So that's one of the benefits of embroidery like this versus cross stitch. So now if you're doing a really fancy embroidery where you're filling in the entire design with like one strand of floss and it's just like really decorative and detailed, like if you're doing, you might have seen like pet portraits that people do that look like freaking real animals and stuff, that's going to take a little bit longer. But still, when compared to cross stitch, it's still maybe faster. All right, I think that looks pretty cute with just the dots. We still could potentially fill that in. Actually, I think it'd probably look pretty cute filled in too. But we'll leave it like that for now. Let's go to the small letter F and outline that. Just to, like, if I leave it here, then it's at least practically done. All right, let's weave in this end. Ooh, I'm close to the hoop, so it's a little harder to weave in. Or maybe I should just, well, I don't know. I might start that small letter F with a little away knot. I like weaving in my ends versus tying knots. You know what? I think I'm going to even start a whole new piece of thread. We'll use this one for something later, but French knots take up so much thread that I think I'm just going to start fresh. Ooh, and I got to cut a new piece too. I saw someone, Real Amy is saying, I saw someone post a pair of jeans they embroidered flowers on. Ugh! And they were stunning. That's awesome. I love that. I love the look of embroidery on jeans. It's just so cute. Oh, I don't have it down here, but I have a kind of a jean jacket shirt. It's kind of just like a heavy shirt that's jeans. And my husband got it for me for the sole purpose of like loading it up with stitches everywhere. And we've done a few embroideries that we've put on there already. But yeah, it's just fun. I would actually like to do more on sweatshirts and stuff. Like it'd be fun to do like a little set of words or something on a cuff. It's definitely a little trickier to embroider on a knit fabric like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, just because it's so tightly knit and it's stretchy that it's doable, but it's just a little trickier than a woven fabric that doesn't move around very much. But I would like to stitch on some sweatshirts. I think that's fun. I got one kind of lined up. Just haven't started it or thought of a great idea for it yet, but I want to do it. Oh, interesting. So Christine says something that is, I hadn't thought about this, but Christine says something that is difficult when you're going from cross stitch to embroidery. Well, I'll just read her whole thing. Something that is difficult is going from a cross-stitch project to embroidery because I've stabbed myself with embroidery needles so much. So that's an interesting point. There's a little bit of a difference between the needles of cross-stitch versus embroidery. So this is an embroidery needle. This is a pretty dull embroidery needle, but typically embroidery needles are sharp. So the eyes are often the same. Like they have a big eye. Cross-stitch needles and embroidery needles, but the point is typically different. So an embroidery needle will have a sharp point, and that's what Christine is talking about. It has a sharp point because you are actually piercing through fabric like this, right? So you want that sharp point for an embroidery needle, whereas a cross-stitch needle has what they call a blunt point. So the tip is basically rounded off. It's not as sharp. And that's because you don't want to pierce the fabric typically for cross-stitch, because cross-stitch is on like an even weave or Aida fabric, and that's like where there's kind of holes in between the weave of the fabric, so you can see the holes. This is like me mimicking weave. And you want to get right in those holes, so you don't actually want to accidentally go outside those holes and pierce the fabric. You want to just kind of slide into those holes. So a blunt point is more typical for cross stitch. Our needles are not super duper sharp. They're sharp enough to go through our fabric and stuff, but they're not like puncture your finger sharp. So these might actually work well for cross stitch too. But yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes if you're so used to the cross stitch needle with the blunt point, and then you're going to an embroidery that has like sometimes a very sharp point, that could be a little trick. All right, I'm going to tie a knot here. I'm going to start this with an away knot. So an away knot is just a way to reserve thread to weave in later when you're, versus usually I stitch in the back of stitches that already exist, and then just start my next part, but there's no stitches, there's no like stitches around this letter F. It's kind of floating in space. I mean, I could jump from this F to this F, but I kind of don't want to see that leap. So I am going to go a little far away from the front, and we tied a knot there. So there we go, and then I'm going to start my French knots around here. And what that's doing is it will reserve a piece of thread for us that I can weave in when I'm done. So that's called an away knot. That's kind of how I like starting a design. when I don't have any stitches on. But once I have stitches, like if I used up my red and I needed more red, I would just weave in to the backs of the stitches and then just keep going. Oh, Rockin' Robin says you have to pierce the material for cross stitch if you're doing half stitch. That's true. So yeah, if you have the four holes and instead of doing an X, if you have to do like a triangle, so you do one half of the X and then the second half, or you'd probably do the little half first and then the big half. That you do have to pierce, so that can be tricky with a cross stitch needle for sure. Actually, an embroidery needle might work a little bit better for that. I think our needles would actually work really well for cross stitch because they're not so sharp that it feels like you're going to hurt yourself, but so they're blunt enough that they'd probably just go to the hole like cross stitch would, a cross stitch needle, but they are probably sharp enough to maybe pierce the fabric if you need to do like those 3/4 stitches, or those, yeah, they're called 3/4 stitches, right? I'll have to read up on my cross stitch lingo again, but I do want to do some cross stitches. It's been on the brain lately. Oh, Catherine says, I think your little Safari Pals collection would be cute on jeans. Oh my god, that would be so cute. You could hide those little safari animals all over. Oh, I have like those wildebeest in that collection. Just a bunch of little gray wildebeest on jeans would be so silly. I kind of love that. Oh, Linda says, thank you. I never knew how the away knot worked. Oh, brilliant. Oh, good. I'm glad I could help. It's literally, all it is reserving that thread for later to weave it in. And I did it a little short here. This is about, maybe that's not even 3 inches. Usually a good 4 inches is better. And, I always get pushback like, oh, but you're wasting so much thread. I see it as a matter of convenience. Because I hate having knots on the back of my piece because there's several annoying things that happen when I start with a knot. One, my thread. I could be stitching and my thread can catch on that knot on the back and I won't know it till like a zillion stitches later. And that's annoying to flip over your embroidery and see that you've wasted, even more floss by it getting caught on that loop. And the second thing I hate about having knots on the back is that I hate when you do that first stitch and it might, there's that tiny little end, like there's this end right here, the little floof on the end of a knot. I hate when that pulls through to the front. That drives me batty. So by weaving in the ends, I eliminate both those things, which in turn makes the backs of my embroideries way cleaner. Which, who cares really, but like, if you're doing something like a tea towel where the back will be seen, theoretically, it's nice to have a cleaner back. But yeah, and weaving in the ends is strong through the wash too. I've never had them come out. Theoretically, they're stronger than knots because, this, if I handle it enough, it might loosen. So I'm team weaving the ends. But it really doesn't matter. If you just want to do a knot, that is totally, legitimately, perfectly fine. Zoop. All these little French knots. I have not done this many French knots all at once. I'm hoping we even get done with these tonight. Yeah, we'll just see how we go here, because it's already 9. But I guess we did finish this F2. I would love to see, my goal right now is let's get this outline done and the little speckles in tonight. And then we can decide, is that good enough, or do we want to do more? We can assess that when we get done. do I need one more in this corner? I think I'm going to just start going down the side here. I'm kind of feeling like I want to fill this in. I'm not sure. Oh, Christine is asking, would you sell cross-stitch kits in the future? Your art would look so cute. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun. We'll see. It's kind of a new thought I've been toying with of like, it'd be fun to do some of these as cross-stitches. I've just been itching to do a cross-stitch lately. And someone had the idea last night of doing, let me just grab them. I got them here yet. Ugh. We have all of so this tulip has been on the brain because this is what I'm doing that punch needle of. So I blew this up really, really big. This is what we're going to do Saturday. So punch needle. So I did a punch needle of that tulip. So I just enlarged it, I think like 600%. But that's this design enlarged. So this has totally been on the brain. But I think someone mentioned that this size would be really nice for cross-stitch. So I thought, how fun would it be to just do this collection again, but as like a set of cross-stitches. This is our spring, our first blooms flowers. Oh gosh, how would that look like in cross-stitch? I don't know. We'll have to try it out. But that's kind of on the brain, and I like that size. I mean, I actually like this size for cross-stitch. Like, it'd be awesome to do, like this guy or something as a cross-stitch, like filled in and almost like painted and stuff. Would be like so cool as a cross-stitch. But I like the idea of having like a set of little baby ones too. Just because that is way more doable to do here in like a normal amount of time. Like, I think probably one of those, we could probably finish a cross-stitch of that size, during a week. Like, we could do that like the last week of the month or something, Last week of the month is our free week to kind of work on whatever project. But yeah, I think that'd be fun. Linda says, how about a group like alphabet, but numbers 1 through 10? Oh, that'd be great. Like, that was kind of one of the first things on my brain. Like, it'd be great to do like a fun alphabet. Oh, that's a good point. Linda Stitches says, keeping a neat back also, like for embroidery, keeping a neat back also helps for easier, smoother framing. That's absolutely correct. If you want to frame your embroidery when you're done, usually that it gets put on like some sort of mat first. So you want as smooth of a back as you can get. And when you have knots on the back, that ends up being like little bumps that just get pushed up. So if you're planning on framing an embroidery, like if it's for a wedding or something like that, then no knots would be smart. Oh, the crazy coloring book lady. Oh, that's a cute name. Ooh, a little would be awesome. So like a little kit that size. Yeah, I'll definitely start with patterns. So I'll make, if I do one of those live here, one of those like theoretical cross stitches that I don't have made, but like if I did turn those flowers into a cross stitch, I would definitely have the pattern available before stitching in case anyone else wanted to stitch it with me during the lives. I don't know about kits though. That'd be fun though. Definitely something of potential for the future. Oh, I think someone asked about I'm just remembering because it was zipping by, but asked about the needle minders. Let's see, I think I have one nearby. Yeah, someone was asking about these needle minders, if I'm going to have any more of those soon. These are our like penguin and fish swag needle minders. I just love them so much. I did order more. They're on their way, so they'll be coming in a couple weeks. And I did get this one again. I was kind of questioning if I would do this one again, and I thought I'd maybe do a series of them, or like, a different color and wouldn't reproduce it, but I did actually get more of this color. And then I got 2 more colorways of the same design that I think are both really, really cute and sweet. So those are coming. I know it's been a while, and I've been meaning to get them sooner, but they're on their way. They're ordered and on the way. And I think they're just going to be so cute. I'm excited for them. And I'm going to make some more different designs and stuff too of the needle minders. I just think they're so freaking fun. And they're just nice to have. Like, I just kind of throw them. This is actually the one from my tatting bag. But I was using it for a different thing. So it's like they're like scissors to me. Like, scissors and a little needle minder if I need, to protect my needle and not being flying everywhere. Scissors and needle minder for every project, I think, is kind of going to be my new thing. Definitely a scissors. Kind of keeping a scissors with each little project you got going on is awesome, because then you're not freaking searching for a stupid scissors every time you want to start. Any barrier to starting a project might mean you don't start it, and we all have limited time to work on this stuff, so any little moment of should I really work on that because I got all this other stuff, and like, oh, now I gotta go find a scissors, that's probably enough to quit, right? To not get started. So I have made it a habit to put one of those little scissors with any ongoing project I have. And it's just so helpful not to have to search for one. Oh yeah, so Jenna is over on YouTube. She works with me. She says, sign up on the website if you want an email notification when the needle minders come in. Oh, that's a great idea. You can sign up for our newsletter, and if you sign up for our free sampler to learn all those stitches, like we talked about a little bit earlier. Oops, almost lost my needle. You'll be signed up for the newsletter through that as well. If you want to be first to know when the needle minders come in, to the point that you will get the first email that comes out, and you'll get first dibs basically, because you'll see that it went live before we send an email out. Then go to that page. So like if you go to Penguin and Fish and type in needle minders into the search bar, then the needle minder will come up. Go to that page, and where it says like sold out or something, there'll be a button that says something like email me when it's available, or like something along those lines. If you click that and put your email in, the moment it goes live, you will be sent an email. So you will get first dibs before we even tell people that they're here. So that would be the best way to like ensure that you get the one that you want, the color that you want. So that's what I recommend if you're waiting on the needle minders. And I know a bunch of you have already signed up for that. And we'll put all the colors. So there's going to be 3 colorways of them. All the colors will be in the same listing. So even if you're not sure about the one in the current listing, the one that looks like this, that kind of tan one, the other ones will be in that same listing, so that you'd still want to fill out that like notification, like notify me when available, or whatever it says. That would be the way to do it. And then with new ones, like other new designs that we'll have in the future, those will be we'll send a new email out for that for sure. Christine just posted the embroidery. I did it. Yay! I will, right when we're done here, I will go check it out too. Christine said earlier that she finished her first embroidery and was nervous posting it to the group, but she went ahead and posted it. I am so excited to see it. How fun! And congrats on the embroidery for sure. That's awesome. Man, these little baby French knots take forever. There's people that do like complete designs out of French knots. I'm thinking they've got speedier at it than me here. I'm thinking can do this in a more streamlined way, but for now it's good to go. This little F is so cute, outlined too. Again, I'm kind of going top down. That just seems like easier for me, so I keep rotating to be in that top down position. That's why I'm upside down right now. I always put my finger over the top when I'm pulling the thread through. Not everyone does that, but I don't know. I feel like I need to do it. I wonder if we can, I don't think I'll have enough floss. I was thinking, I wonder if I can get through this whole small F with this thread, but I'm thinking that's not happening. French knots take up so much floss. Happy Thursday, Amy. Do I need another one there? Yeah, I think we'll squeeze one in. Kind of don't know if I need one, but we're doing one. Get in there. Ugh, I can't wait for Saturday to do that punch needle, though. That's going to be fun. I didn't keep my finger on there. That just makes me nervous always. Ooh, I just got a whiff of that thread conditioner still. I've been keeping that open like it's just a candle almost. Ugh, smells good. Oh, but dang, you guys, my refrigerator is so happy again. It's got like hard-boiled eggs in there again. It is like filled to the brim. It has like veggie snack trays for little snacks during the day. I made a whole giant batch of rice just so that there's rice available, and made some chicken just so there's chicken available. I didn't make any meals really, but it's just a packed fridge again. And I have some beans, some pinto beans soaking. I kind of want to make some refried beans. I haven't done that in a while. I think we even have some bacon fat around yet. Ooh. But anyway, so I'm got some beans soaking for tomorrow. It was a good cooking afternoon. Feel like I'm good for another week now. I'm prepared for the weekend at least, and that makes me feel good because we'll be here instead over the weekend. If I manage to wait to do my nails till Sunday, I'm kind of, I don't know. I did that major kitchen stuff today, and they still look freaking decent, which is amazing. But I can tell that they are chipping a little bit more. But if I don't do them tomorrow, if I manage to wait till Sunday, maybe I'll go live and do the dip powder shenanigans again. Hopefully it doesn't take 2 hours this time. I'll probably take these off, though, before then, just because I don't quite know how that process is going to go. But I will report back on that. So hopefully I can make it till Sunday, and then I'll just go live Saturday and Sunday. We'll see. Live weekend. Oh, Sunday's Easter, too, but, you know, if you're bored, you can hang out with me and do Easter nails, basically. All right, we managed to get all around there, which is awesome. I might even have enough floss to fill in the blanks here, or the kind of like the little scattered dots. I'm just kind of drawing them in. This is a heat erase marker, so even if I decide not to do one, I can just put an iron on that. I may actually, I'm not sure yet, but I may actually, well, I don't know. I don't know if I should say this aloud. I was going to say I may actually take tomorrow evening off since I'm coming in Saturday all day. But I'll let you guys know. If I do come on, I don't think I'm going to quilt this. If I come on, I kind of want to rack up a few of these. These are nice. Like that one time we were able to quilt 3 of these in an evening. So I kind of want to wait till I have a couple more available. But there is some prep work we can do, and we can maybe even start sewing blocks together. But we'll see. I'll let you guys know if I decide to not come on tomorrow. But we'll see. I probably still will. We'll see. But definitely Saturday. Ooh, I think I got like a weird loop on here. Oh no, everything looks fine still. Okay, good. For sure Saturday and probably Sunday for the nails I'll be on. Oh my gosh, we are totally going to get this, plus have room to weave in. Like, we were able to do the outline and our little bonus knots. I think I might just leave it like this. I like the idea of filling it all in, but this is fine too. Sometime we'll have to do something where we fill it all in, but I think this is kind of cute, just these little speckles, these little extra dots. It is just kind of cute. It's almost, you could do like a little cheetah pattern like this or something. That'd be kind of fun. All right, we totally freaking won at thread chicken. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna weave in this end. So this is how I end my floss. I weave in the ends. And I always go back and forth 3 times. So that was 1. I'm going to grab as many different stitches as possible on the way back. And then 1 more time. That 3rd time kind of locks it in. And then you can also trim really close to your stitches, which is great. Then you don't have all those little threads flailing everywhere. All right, and now back to our away knot. So remember, this is that thread that we reserved earlier when we started. And we did that because this F is kind of floating out in the middle by itself, so I didn't have any stitches to weave into the backs already. So instead, I reserved some floss to do it later. So I'm just cutting that knot off. So that's garbage. And then that releases our little piece of floss. And now I can just grab my needle again and thread that and weave in this end. So that's called an away knot. And its whole purpose is just to reserve that little bit of floss to weave in later, like so. So just like how we wove in the end of the floss, or the other end, doing the same here. And the 3rd time. Zoop. There we are. So you guys, I think we're totally done with this. Amy says, I like the polka dot. I think a tight crosshatch would be cute too. Ooh, this would have actually been really cute with the knots and then like doing a crosshatch in. And actually, you know what? I actually really like how this back turned out. I mean, you know, it's a little bit messy here, but I love these kind of tiny diagonal stitches. Something like that would be really fun as an outline with like a crosshatch or just like back and forth on the inside. We might have to do that for another letter. All right, so this is letter F. G and H for next week. So G is, or next month, I mean. G is the giraffe, and H is the hedgehog. So those are two super classic penguin and fish patterns. So we'll do the giraffe week 1 of May. It is going to be freaking May already, you guys. And then the hedgehog will be week 2 of May. So next week we will be working on the sunflower. This is our embroidery of the month for April. And then we have that free week after that, and I don't know if I have a cross stitch done by then, we might have to do a little cross stitch. Although I do think this might take a little bit longer than a week, just because there is like a dense amount of stitches. So this guy might go a little bit over, and we still have the Splendid Sampler quilt project. We'll want to work on that a little bit week 4. But just as a reminder of what we're doing with these. We are sewing them into these little blocks. So here we have our back fabric, our batting already, and the front fabric. And we've sewn them all together. We've quilted them together. We're doing some free motion quilting. And we are going to assemble them into a quilt, here's the letter B, using the quilt as you go method. So we're actually going to be putting a piece of fabric in the middle of these to hold them together. And then we'll be putting a little piece on the back to hide the edge. So it's a whole process that we'll be doing soon. Real soon here. We just had to finish prepping the pieces. So here's the letter B. This one we did colored pencil on it beforehand, and I think that just turned out so freaking cute, especially our little like rainbow ombre thing that we did with the letters, the cute little flowers for the quilting. Letter C, little kitty cat, and letter D. Oh yeah, we did metallic thread for the little choke collar, I guess, and it's just like so tall off the fabric, and it's just like the shiniest thing ever. I really like that one. Oh yeah, and we put words in the quilting. That was fun. Oh, and a little heart. That was fun too. I would do that again. Oh, and this is our most recent. This is from last week. This is the letter E. We did a cute little, I guess I'm calling it a daisy chain, little daisy chain squiggle around, and then like a bigger squiggle around that. And we also outlined him too. Ooh, and that's right, we did the turkey work on his tail. That was really fun. For this E, or for this letter, we filled it in with diagonal satin stitches. I would definitely do that again. I think that look is really like classy and cute. Then we added a little sunflower as well for him. And oh, here's my little practice sheet. So whenever we want to test an idea out, I have like this little extra sheet that we can play around with. I actually really like this. Is kind of cute, just like that. Yeah. Oh, and we have some extra ones if I decide to stitch another batch. And so letter F, we will have to stitch at some point. But like I said, I think I'll save this one for next month when we get the 2 other ones, and then we can quilt all 3 all at once. I think that'll be nice. So that is that, you guys. I think we're gonna call it a night there. All right, so done a little early tonight. I will let you know. Assume I'm going to come on tomorrow, but I will let you know over on Facebook if I decide to take tomorrow off, because I will be on Saturday for a good amount of the day, starting probably around 11 a.m. Central Time. We'll be on for several hours for sure, doing that punch needle. Oh, and that punch needle is this guy again, nice and big. So we will work on that. And Sunday, I may come on live as well to do the nails again. So might take tomorrow off because it's going to be a heavy live weekend. So we'll see, but I'll let you guys know for sure. All right, so I'll call it there. Have a lovely rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you either tomorrow or this weekend. Good night.